Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Workforce Wednesday in the Kentucky Chamber Workforce Center's Best to Business virtual program. I'm Harper Smith. I'm the manager of the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce Workforce Center, and I help direct the Best to Business program. And we're excited to bring this program to students virtually for the 2021 school year. Before I introduce our speakers today, I want to thank our sponsors in this effort, the Kentucky Society for Human Resource Management, or Kentucky SHRM, and AT&T. We're grateful for their partnership and investment in bringing classrooms to careers. And I'd also like to thank the team at Udemy for this virtual event platform that's helping us stream these live events and stream them to Facebook and YouTube as well. All of our resources are housed on our website as well as our YouTube and Facebook streams. And this webinar is being recorded. So whether you're watching with us live on January 27th at 10 a.m., one of the 250 students tuning in live, or if you are watching at a later date, thanks so much for joining, and we hope you learned something new. Today, we will be hearing from Amanda Huddleston. She is the Executive Vice President at People Plus. Amanda is also a founding board member of the Kentucky Chamber Workforce Center, and we are always happy to work with her. She is also the chair-elect for our program sponsor, Kentucky SHRM. I'll go ahead and kick it over to Amanda for her presentation. Keep in mind that I am going to be checking the chat. If you have any questions for Amanda, I'll be looking out for those so I can direct those at the end of her presentation. Thanks so much. Welcome, Amanda.
Hi, thank you, Harper. I'm really excited to be here today, and thank you so much to the Workforce Center and Harper and Jordan and all those that are kind of behind the scenes that are making this happen. It's really exciting and a unique year that we've had, that you guys have done so much with this program. So just happy to be here today. Thank you also to all the students that are watching. Much love to you guys, because I know it's been a unique year. And, you know, hopefully we're kind of in the downslope of that, and we can all kind of get back to school and to some normalcy. And thank you to all the teachers as well. What a challenge you guys have had, and you guys have risen up and met that challenge, and it's exciting to be able to do stuff like this with everyone today. So, but again, my name is Amanda Huddleston. I am Executive Vice President with People Plus. I'm going to share with you all a little bit today about staffing agencies, staffing firms, kind of help you all understand how they operate and how they work, and how they can be a great resource as you are looking to careers and what you want to do. I don't know about all of you that are watching today, but I had no idea when I graduated high school what I wanted to do. So I'm hoping that this could be a resource for those of you that do not know, and you can have an additional option there once you graduate. So I do have some information I'm going to be sharing with you today, and we will get started with that. All right. First, kind of staffing 101. I know a lot of individuals are not aware of what a staffing company can actually do or how it can help them, but I really think they're a huge benefit. Obviously, I work with one, and I think you all will find after this presentation that it can be a great resource to you as well. All right, so first, a little bit about me. I always think it's good to know about the person that's talking to you about this information. So as I mentioned, I do work with People Plus. Just a little bit about my education. I graduated from Madisonville North Hopkins High School, go Maroons. I also attended the University of Kentucky and Eastern Kentucky University, and I graduated with a communications degree. With still no idea after college, mind you, of what I really wanted to do. So it's really okay if you don't know right now. So please don't stress about that. I actually got into human resources, or HR, accidentally. I got a job with a grocery distributor right out of college as a recruiter, and really enjoyed that work. Found that that was a great fit for me and what I wanted to do. And then I began working with my family's business in 2004. So I have been in the staffing or recruiting industry since about 2001. Kind of ages me a bit, but I have enjoyed every year of it, and it's always new, always different. I'm always getting to meet new people, learn. You know, I'm learning every day, so it's been a very exciting opportunity for me. But personally, but again, I truly do love helping people succeed. So that's one of the reasons that I love what I do. But personally, I do live here in the Central Kentucky area. I am married with 2 awesome boys. I have one in high school as well and elementary. And our newest addition, and everybody loves animals, so I thought I'd share a picture of him. This is my dog Murphy. He's super fun. And again, who doesn't love an animal? So I thought I'd share him. But the first thing I do want to start out with is kind of why staffing. This is from the American Staffing Association, just to kind of give you an idea of what staffing companies do. So I will play that for you now.
Why staffing? Quite simply, it's good for job seekers, it's good for businesses, and it's good for the economy. Each week, the staffing and recruiting industry places more than 3 million temporary and contract employees on assignment across the country. Staffing agencies recruit, screen, and place employees in every industry sector, with jobs in virtually all occupations, from skilled trades to professional. People get personal support while looking for work and access to more job opportunities. That means less time searching and getting hired faster. Companies keep fully staffed during busy times, with ready access to a broader range of candidates to hone their competitive edge. And the nation's economy? It's made stronger thanks to greater labor market flexibility. For employees, for businesses, for the economy, staffing agencies deliver. Learn more from the American Staffing Association, the nation's premier organization for the staffing and recruiting industry. ASA membership is a hallmark of excellence and high standards. Look for an ASA member at americanstaffing.net.
All right, so you can see that staffing industries definitely affect multiple industries and can help multiple different types of job seekers. So what I'm going to do for the rest of my presentation is kind of talk to you all about that, let you know more information, kind of what you can expect and how they can help you. So what is a staffing agency? Staffing firm, temp agency, recruiters, there's a lot of different terminology that may be out there, et cetera. But really what they are, a staffing agency, again, also known as a search or recruiting, a staffing firm or staffing service, employment agency, that can be another term used. It's an organization that helps match companies with job candidates. So when you come in and you register with a staffing company, sorry, I think we've got a couple people that are going blank here. When you register with a staffing agency, you have the potential to make connections with multiple hiring managers looking to find the right people for their job openings. So it really does give you that opportunity to make that connection with multiple different companies. And do you have to pay to use a staffing agency? A lot of people think that, and the answer is no, you do not. There should not be fees when you're using an agency at all. When you apply and register with a staffing agency, you are registering to be open for their available job opportunities that meet your skill set and abilities and kind of your work preferences. And you can register with several agencies. You don't have to commit to just one. All agencies out there utilize different, have different companies that they work with. So definitely, if you're one of those that you have no idea what you want to do when you get out of high school, but you're getting into the workforce, staffing agencies can be an excellent resource for you to give you that opportunity to try out different jobs. Because you are employed by the staffing agency, but you work under the supervision of that client site. So that's kind of how the relationship works. It gives you a lot of opportunity to try different jobs and different careers, even just short-term work. If you just need something temporarily, it can really help. The national staffing stats, I thought you all might be interested in this information as well to realize how large the staffing industry is. Nationally, staffing agencies provide career opportunities and jobs to 16 million employees in 2019. So that's a large population of the workforce. And each week they average about 3.1 million. So it's a really large environment every week. The average annual earnings per job is $41,500 nationally. So again, it can be a great opportunity for you financially as well. And across the US, there's an estimated 38,000 offices. So lots of opportunity and lots of different agencies in the US to register with. In Kentucky, staffing agencies employed over 270,000 workers. So again, a large portion of the Kentucky workforce as well. And we staff around, not me personally, but the agencies in Kentucky staff around 52,000 employees each week. And our average annual earnings per job are $35,000. So a little bit under the national average, but not that far off. In the Midwest area, we see that our pay rates and salaries are a little bit lower, but your average annual earnings are in that range. Sometimes can start a little lower if you're coming in with no experience, and obviously increase as you get higher. Marco did ask what degree is required. It really depends on the job, and most of our employers do require a high school diploma or GED. So definitely at a minimum, make sure you complete that. But a lot of our jobs do not require a college degree or a specific certification or skilled trade degree. It really just depends on the company and the specific job. And we'll talk about that a little bit more as well. But the estimated number of offices in Kentucky are 550. So again, if you're looking to stay in the Kentucky area, you have a lot of opportunity to register with. I wouldn't recommend registering with 550. That might be a little bit too much to keep up with. But there are definitely agencies all across the state that can help you out. And this kind of gives you an idea of the different sectors kind of at a glance. This is from a 2014 survey, so a little bit older data, but still very relevant in today's workforce. So you can kind of see that 35% of staffing employees work in higher skilled occupations. As you can see the different numbers there of professional and technical, IT and scientific. If those are options for you, or healthcare, you can see there's a pretty large portion that actually, if you're looking to more in that skilled trade area, that you can work with a staffing agency to do that and to get in that field. As far as office and like a clerical administrative work or industrial, which may be more, skilled manufacturing or advanced manufacturing, warehouse work, things of that nature, that's usually the higher portion of the jobs that come from staffing agencies. But as you can see from this screen, it's very, very well balanced in our percentages and kind of the different sectors that we work in within the industry. So there's lots of opportunity there. Again, a little bit more on salary and benefits locally, so that can give you an idea and kind of in the Kentucky market. For the industrial and skilled trades, again, that's kind of the higher one. Entry-level industrial work, so that'd be manufacturing, warehouse, forklift driving, anything along those lines generally starts anywhere between $11 to $20 an hour. The $20 an hour is a little bit more of that higher skill level. So maybe having, if you have some specific training or you have more on that skilled trade line, so say electrician, plumber, things in that nature, you can definitely get a higher wage. But entry level, coming right out of high school with no experience, you can easily make, anywhere from 11 to 13 an hour in a position. So definitely good opportunities, and that's a starting wage with no experience. Benefits can offer, depending on staffing agencies. Some offer benefits and some do not. So it's a good to know and a good question to ask. People Plus, for instance, my company, we do offer health insurance, vacation, and holiday pay. So we do offer benefits for individuals that work with us. As far as the administrative and clerical jobs, entry level, again, with little to no experience, that would be kind of an entry level accounting, so more data entry, office clerk, customer service representatives, Those starting salaries can be anywhere from 11 to 13 an hour. And again, that would be more entry-level work. Your experienced administrative professional position. So once you get some experience, which is very important to do, we all have to start somewhere, but the salaries can be anywhere from $14 to $20 an hour for, kind of a mid-level experienced administrative candidate. And again, the benefits for those positions kind of vary between agency to agency. So those are to kind of give you an idea of, coming right out of high school. And if you don't know what you want to do, again, another kind of plug for staffing agencies. They really can be a great resource and can pay well, especially if you are light on the experience. This is a little bit more information on how they can help you, just some tips, tricks, and trades to know when you graduate high school. These are some of the things that I always like to help people with, so I wanted to make sure to share them with you as well. A couple of the ways that a staffing agency can help you, kind of the WIFM, what's in it for me if I register with a staffing agency. The first one is job interview experience. It can be very difficult to land a job interview, period. But one thing that staffing agencies can do is they'll interview you even without experience. They want to interview individuals and get a good idea of, they kind of look at the personality, look at what opportunities, what interests them, because they may have positions that are entry level that would be a great fit. So you really can get some solid job interview experience, which is very important when you're first starting out. They also enable you the opportunity to try different careers. You can accept or decline multiple different types of jobs. So just because you're registered with an agency doesn't mean you have to, that you have to take the job they offer you. If it doesn't sound good to you, then it's important. I always tell people every day, make sure what you're doing is something you enjoy, because you put a lot of hours into it, and it needs to be something that you find some enjoyment in. But staffing agencies give you that option to try before you buy, right? Before you really invest in it, gives you that opportunity to do that. It also can provide you great opportunity for on-the-job training, because most agencies do hire entry level. So you get to learn while you work. You're getting that training, you're getting to build your resume with that experience, and it can be huge. It also can be an opportunity to be a bridge between jobs. So maybe some of you on the call know exactly what you want to do. You have your career path lined out, but maybe you would like to work during the summer, or maybe you want to work during your holiday break from college. Maybe you want to work now because everything's virtual, and you have more time. It can definitely be great to be a bridge between those jobs or between career changes or things that you have going on. We do short-term work, so maybe it's just a couple weeks or a weekend. You really have the opportunity to be flexible when you register with what you want to do. It can also be a great path to a career. I have countless, I did try to get a couple of their videos to show you all today, but was unable to make that happen in time. But we hire people for a variety of employers, and a lot of those employers are looking for their next great manager or supervisor. And in the 15 plus years I've been doing this, I have seen multiple people start an entry-level job, and they're now in management and very successful, making a wonderful salary. So it really can be a pathway to a career that you didn't even think that you might enjoy. So it definitely another bonus in what we do. And finally, it really is a win-win result. You get the flexibility, you get options, you get new experience. So I can't recommend staffing companies enough. We're not all created equal, so it is important to do your research and make sure you go with one that cares about you as much as they do their clients. All right, so a little bit of a poll time here that I'd love to kind of find out from you guys that are on the call. How many of you have ever been on an interview before, or maybe been on a job interview? I know some of you may not have done that yet, and that's perfectly fine. But kind of let me know, how many of you have or have not. you got time to do that on your screen, I'll vote as well. Awesome. We've got a lot of people that have, some people have not, about 50, half and half right now. Awesome. All right, so a couple people, a little bit more that have been on an interview, so that's awesome news. And a few more that have not, so excellent. Well, even if you have been on one, and maybe you've been on one that you bombed or it just did not go well, there are very simple things you can do to make it better. So that's what I kind of wanted to talk to you all about today, to kind of help you give you some tips on that interview process. Because even if you register with a staffing firm, or you're going right into the workforce, or maybe you're interviewing at a college or a different type of trade school, and you have to interview, there are very basic things you can do to help really make that interview a success. And they are a lot of things that people forget about. So I really wanted to go over those with you guys today as well. Because this is a great thing to remember. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. And that is so true. So interviewing is important, and those first couple of minutes are huge and important as well. So let's kind of talk about that real quick. I wanted to give you all some tips there. Number one is be on time. That's so important, because that is one of the things that any job that you're going for is going to look at. If you can be on time for an interview, they're going to feel like your chances of being on time for work are greater. If you are late for an interview, you've already got a red mark. So be on time. It's very important. If something does happen, in which all employers and people interviewing understand, be sure to call and let somebody know that you're running behind, or there was an accident, things like that. Don't give up on it, but you definitely want to be at least about 10 minutes early, so that you're there on time. Smile. I can't stress this enough. I know with our masks right now, this is probably one of the most irritating things to me. I don't know for you all, but the mask, I'm walking by people in the grocery store, and I smile at them, and I'm like, they have no idea. Hopefully they see it in my eyes. But in an interview, it's paramount, because I've got there 30% of interviewers knew in the first 90 seconds they were going to hire someone. And a lot of that is based on your nonverbals, and your smile, your eye contact, your handshake, although handshaking may be going out of style as well. I don't know. But, 40% of interviews felt like that lack of a smile was a good enough reason to not consider a candidate. So 40%. So that lets you know, if you can do just these couple of easy things, you're already getting some green checks along the way. And that's what you want in an interview. Really research the company. A lot of people don't do this enough. Highly recommend it before you're going on an interview, even if it's a staffing company. Make sure that you're kind of looking and getting to know about the company. Make sure it's a company you want to work with too. Again, you're investing your time, and you need to make sure that the company is where you want to do that. So really get to research the company before the interview, so that you kind of know before you go. And clothing does matter. It really does. We have kind of pulled away from the very professional suit, tie, interviewing attire, but it still matters. Your clothing matters. How you present yourself matters, because again, that's all part of that first impression. So you want to be clean cut. You want to have your clothes to be neat and not wrinkled. Knowing that, having that clothing kind of in your mind of what you're going to wear and looking neat, no holes, no pajama pants. I know we've all been in them, for months now, but it is important to keep that in mind, is that is part of that impression as well. Not wearing strong perfume, or cologne, those types of things can be distracting. You really want the person interviewing you to remember you for you, and not for the perfume that you were wearing, right? So be mindful of that. And again, that kind of goes back to your smile being your best accessory as well. So again, going all back to that smile. Avoid negative talk. This can be hard if you've had a past employer or even something at school that happened that was negative for you. Even if your employer was Darth Vader, avoid that negative kind of talk. It can put a bad taste in the person interviewing you's mouth as well. Find the positives in what you did and the work that you did, and just focus on those to make sure that, this is really kind of looking at that in that positive light of the job, even if it was something you didn't like. I mean, there's always something positive, whether it's you gained experience in what you didn't want to do in your future, and that was very helpful to you, right? So you can always find some positives in things. And the last thing I'll kind of mention today, again, basics, is just ask questions. Like I have here, tell me what you enjoy about working on the Death Star. It is very important as a candidate that you bring in a question. And some of those questions can come from your research. Some of those can come from, things you've heard about from other candidates or just the job description itself. But one of my favorite questions I think to ask, again, it goes back to, you're investing time in this company as well, is to ask them, tell me what you enjoy about working at XYZ company. And it really helps. So and please, if you all have questions along the way, shoot them to me. We're going to have a little question time here shortly, and would love to have your all's questions along the way. So wanted to give you all this information as well, so that I know we may have people kind of all across the state. So wanted to make sure that you had some links to be able to find agencies in your area. The first one that you can go to is americanstaffing.net. That is the American Staffing Association, and you can search for job seeker. That will help you, and then you can search by location. So they are a national organization, but they have members in each state. So it can give you in each area. So it can really give you a great resource to look those up. The other one is clearlyrated.com. This is a listing of independent and highly rated agencies through the US. So these are agencies that have taken time to get kind of done surveys for the staffing company. And they enable you to see who's some of the best, right, that you want to work with. So these are agencies that care about that and care about how their kind of reputation is. So that's another great resource. And another great thing just to do is Google it, right? That's a lot of what we do. You can do staffing agencies in Lexington, Kentucky, or staffing firms in Owensboro, Kentucky. Obviously, I'm always leery of ads, but kind of scroll through, look through those. A lot of them have very honest reviews. I know we have a lot of honest reviews on there, but a lot of positive reviews too. So it can really help you decide as well, kind of in your area, which staffing agency you might want to register with, or which couple. Like I said, register with multiple. Because you can they're an extra set of eyes looking for a job for you, right? So just really make sure you're kind of getting out there. And the one biggest thing that I want you all to remember is, you are what you think and do. So think you are great and do amazing things. It's really, it's a big world that everyone's, we all have to join and be a part of. But if you kind of stay focused, stay in it, know that you're a great candidate, keep that confidence, but also know that you have a lot to learn. You can really go far and do some great things. All right, so I did want to open it up to you guys for any questions. I love talking about interviewing. I love talking about helping people, in the interview process. Any questions that you might have or about jobs in general? I know we work with multiple different companies, so I have lots of background there. So I don't know if anybody had anything that they had questions on or wanted to discuss.
Great. Thank you so much, Amanda. That was a great presentation. We're a little ahead, you and I, so I'll wait for the chat to see if there are any other questions. Okay. I kind of want to mention that when we were kind of preparing for this session, you mentioned, I think those videos you were trying to find, like some success stories that you've had with staffing and kind of how that, maybe just want to share one of those. I think that would be impactful for students to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a candidate that it was probably about 5-6 years ago that started, and that was here in my office. He started with one of our top companies here in the area, and started as just a production technician. And when I went back, we actually went to the Bus to Business and we toured their facility last fall when we were still able to go in person. I ran into him again, and it was just really exciting in that he was now he was on track to become a production manager, and his just career had blossomed and taken off. And it all started with that $50 an hour job. And 5 years later, here he is. I tell people all the time that, I can help you, staffing agencies are great to help you get your foot in the door at a company. But once your foot's in the door, it's up to you how many steps forward you take. So, we can only do so much, but we'll help you get there. And the rest is up to you. So it's really a lot about, what you want and how much you want to work to get there.
Great. That's awesome. One kind of question I always ask for these that I think is kind of fun is what was your first job ever?
Oh, my first job ever. Well, I could say it was People Plus, and I was like 11, but we'll backtrack on that a little bit. So my other first job was working in a restaurant. It was like a barbecue restaurant, and I worked the drive-through window. So I was talking about that with my son last night. I was like, I actually enjoyed it. I enjoy working with people and seeing the different people that came in. I did not enjoy the food prep part. I had to cut chicken as part of my job, so I didn't enjoy that part, but that's fine. Yeah.
We did just get a question in. What advice would you give your employees in order to be successful once they are employed?
Great question. Again, I think it starts with one, communication. I think that's very important. Making sure you're very clear on the expectations they have of you. And two, I think it's really about, they say, oh gosh, I can't think of the saying now, but it's really about showing up and being ready to work, and being ready to, help yourself become better and help the company become better. Because every organization wants people that work with them that, want to help them grow. And there's not any company out there that I'm aware of that wants to stay stagnant and not move ahead. So I think if you can really come in and bring your ideas and come to work, show up, be good to your teammates, be good to your, the product or service that you're doing. And those things are kind of those, as they say, your essential skills. They're so important for employers today that just doing those basic things can really take you a long way. I see that, we see such a kind of decline in some people in those essential skills. But you've got to think, you're in a relationship. And just like any personal relationship, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So, just put into it and you will get out of it.
Great.
You'll get positive things out of it, I guess I should say.
Definitely, yes. Well, I think that's a great note to end on. I really learned a lot from your presentation, and I hope all the students did as well. I think that was great, learning about the staffing industry as well as interview tips and that kind of thing. Those are always good to learn about. So thank you so much, Amanda, and thank you to People Plus. We always appreciate working with you and Ford and in Kentucky SHRM. So thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
So as usual, all of our videos are housed on YouTube and Facebook. If you all want to rewatch them or share them, please do so. Thanks again for attending. If you aren't signed up to receive our e-newsletter, please sign up at kychamber.com/bus2business. We have a weekly e-newsletter that details that week's live session information and that kind of thing, our career pathway stats, all of that. Like I said before, we have these every Wednesday. Our next session is going to be on February 17th, February 10th with, it's our second of our 6 equine specific horse country partnerships. So if you're interested in the equine industry, please tune into that. And if you have any other questions or anything you need, please reach out to me directly at hsmith@kychamber.com. I'll put that in the chat. And thanks so much for joining. Have a good day.